the station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to Hot Takes with me, hosted by the Murph Man, where life gets real and the mic stays hot. That's right, your favorite is experienced, and yeah, that smart and funny guy. From classroom chalk to comedy clubs, Murph Man breaks it down with brainy thuds. Parenting stress or college mess, he's been through it all, no need to guess. Insights are sharp and data's tight, rants are ready and the jokes are light. Turn it up, this show is hot. Honest, funny, maybe loud. Never scared to stand out proud. When life gets real, the mic stays warm. Hosted by the dad with lots of charm. Insights are sharp and data's tight. The lens already and the jokes are light. Real talk, keeping it true. From high school halls to podcast cues, live a little, learn a lot. Turn it up, this show is hot. Grab your coffee and let's get into it. No filter, no fluff, just real talk. Let's do it. Ready or not, here we go. It's time for Murph Man to start the show.
In a world drowning in data and dread, two men rise, not as saviors or scholars, but as the Murph Man and Connor. Witness their journey as they navigate the treacherous waters of, well, whatever they feel like talking about. Prepare for Hot Takes with the Murph Man, where opinions are strong, facts are optional, and personal experiences are the name of the game. They're not experts, but they play them on this show. Their passion isn't a performance, it's who they are. And sometimes that authenticity means a little adult language might slip out. They apologize for that ahead of time, promising to keep it minimal, but their reactions are always genuine. Now grab your coffee, sit back, and enjoy the show. Here are the Murph Man and Connor.
Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murph Man. How are we doing today, Connor?
I'm doing good today. How are we doing, Murph Man?
I'm doing great. I got to tell you, it's Thanksgiving week. I've been off all week, and it's been an amazing week. How was yours?
Lucky. Only got Thanksgiving and Black Friday off. So I had to go to school for Monday through Wednesday.
You know, and I've also been sick all week with food poisoning from a Friendsgiving on Sunday.
True. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, this is the second time in 3 years that I've had a horrible Thanksgiving. The first time was with the gallbladder surgery.
Yeah. But that was a little pain in the booty, wasn't it?
It was funny because, you know, I look like SpongeBob. You know, I was so yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You remember that? How? No, I look square. I'm making Krabby Patties. Oh my God. All right, you guys. You know, before I begin, I want to let you guys know that, you know, what we're getting into, I'm the Murph Man, and my views and Connor's are ours alone. We are not experts, and this is an unfiltered show. Although some adult language might slip out, we'll try our best not to. And if you're ready for a frank discussion, we should get this show started.
Sounds
ready
good.
to make the fuse, Connor?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Today, we're talking about a paradox of college life. Feeling alone while being surrounded by people. Homesickness is real, and finding your people takes time. This episode is about navigating those feelings and taking small, brave steps to build your new community. Now, back to Murphman and Connor.
How are we doing, you guys? Not too good, huh?
No.
We're having a little bit of an issue. Are yours good? Are your slides correct?
Mhm.
Yeah, right. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering why mine are not. I don't know why mine are not. I don't know what to say other than I apologize. Well, anyway, we're going to be talking about. Oh, sorry. Structure is your greatest freedom. All right, because we're going to talk about independence, you guys. Now, if you give me a sec here, let me get this fixed. I spent so much time doing this and I screw something up, man. I hate it. Anyway, I do apologize. While we're doing this, let's talk more about your Friendsgiving that you had last night and the night before and the night. You had all these Friendsgivings every a few nights of the week. How was that, Connor?
It wasn't much. It was just a little bit of food and just hanging out with friends that I haven't seen since we graduated. That was it.
Well, that's cool.
Just a little something. Damn.
What?
The dogs.
Well, yeah, you know.
But I'm like sick from food. I haven't been eating that much.
You know, well, I was sick, but we talked about you going to so many Friendsgivings. You're like, I am done
With Thanksgiving.
with Thanksgiving food.
With turkey, ham, stuffing, mashed potatoes. I'm done.
You're done, right? You're done. You know, I haven't even had that.
Oh,
You know what I had instead?
What?
Hot wings. No, actually,
Yes.
no. The nachos. I had nachos and hot wings.
That
was my Thanksgiving lunch. You know, we went to Dave and Buster's. Went to go see the games there. Pretty good games for Thanksgiving, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs lost. Woo-hoo. Cowboys won. I just
ASU state lost.
Well, Arizona State. That's the.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, I meant ASU and then Arizona.
The Arizona Wildcats beat the Sun Devils.
I,
Another big upset was Texas beating A&M. You know, now one thing is funny is we have the what's it called? The Indiana stomped on Purdue.
Oh yeah, obviously.
But later today we have the Ohio State
and Michigan
and Michigan. The Ohio State,
which is right now at 10.
Well, yeah. Well, we'll give them updates in a little bit. But yeah, so as we're doing this, you know, we will be giving updates on the game, Ohio and Michigan State. But if Michigan State beats them, that means Indiana goes to first place, and Ohio State or the Ohio State and
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M will drop. I don't know who's in fourth place. I don't care, right? But it's one of those things that you got to ask yourself, like, how are you going to do this? You know, so it's one of those interesting things that you got to really look at. So I'll tell you what. Are you ready for? Let's do this again. Shut up.
I'm sorry. This is just too funny.
It is. It is. I updated yours and I didn't update mine. All right, let's get ready to ignite the fuse again.
Yes.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Structure is your greatest freedom. Welcome to Hot Takes with the Murphman. Today, we're tackling the biggest test of college life, absolute freedom. For the first time, you are the CEO of your own schedule. This independence is thrilling, but it's also a trap if you don't build structure. This episode is about creating your own systems so you can enjoy your freedom without letting it completely derail your goals. Pay attention, Connor. This applies to you.
All right. It does apply to you, Connor. You are becoming more independent by the day. Would you agree with me on that one?
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those things that, as you become independent, right? It's your freedom without letting it derail your goals. I told you when I was 18 years old, I went to college, right? What happened in my first 2 semesters?
You didn't do good.
I
You
failed.
dropped out. Yeah.
Well, I didn't know you had to drop out. I just stopped going to class. I was always ditching in high school, so I ditched in college. Hey, what can I say? And then I tried again the second semester. So I want to do better, and I did the same thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm not ready for college. Done. Now, later in life, when I went to college, I dedicated myself to it. Everything was good. You know what I mean?
Well, you were like how old when you went back to college?
What is 93? 34? 24. 24. Yeah.
No, yeah, 93,
Yeah.
24.
So 6
Yeah.
years later. Yeah. So going to college wasn't no one had prepared me for college. I was ill prepared for the freedom I had. You know, I was also drinking. I was doing a lot more stuff than you've been doing. But for college itself, I wasn't ready. I was not ready. And that freedom totally derailed any goal I had. You know, I had joined the reserves already, and I was going to go to basic training in November, so I knew the next fall I wasn't going to be there. But yeah, actually, this is after I went to school. That's right. Anyway, I don't even remember. I was always drinking.
Okay.
You know, but you got to think about that. You have your goals and you have your freedom, and you have to decide what you're going to do, right? Has that been a difficult thing for you this year, having to worry about college and everything?
I mean, a little. Just like I've been saying, a new environment is always stressful
It is.
for me personally. But I mean, I'm always stressed no matter what.
Well, we all are. But
Yeah.
you know, you got to understand you have some skills, that you have to do well in college. I don't have any doubt that you're going to succeed. Do you?
Sometimes.
Well, we all doubt ourselves at some point, but
I've always doubted myself.
yeah, I said we all doubt ourselves at some point. But
Well, I'm saying every
do you
time.
think you're going to succeed in what you're doing?
Soon, sooner or later, yeah.
Yeah, right. But you're not saying I'm never going to succeed. That's what I'm getting at.
Oh, well, yeah.
Right. Okay. We all doubt ourselves at some point. Even no matter what you're doing, you can never be 100% confident. Never be 100% confident. That's the thing. You can go and try and fail and try again. Like the old adage, it's not how hard you get hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep on going. You got to get down, get back up. And it's one of those things that, that's one reason I love the Rocky movies, because they're so motivational. The things he says and things he does, I love it, But it's very difficult to motivate yourself if you have nothing pushing you. Now, in a couple of weeks, you have your finals.
Mm-hmm.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how prepared are you for that?
Just 6 or 7.
6 or 7? Okay.
I'm not even trying to joke around. Like, I'm actually like 6 or 7.
Well, I learned something.
That's a 9-7, but okay.
No, well, sorry.
That's a 9-7.
There, 6-7.
That's
No.
a 0-7.
Wait.
Okay.
Screw it. I saw it. I said, I gotta try it.
It's this with the 7. Yes. Okay sign and 7. There you go.
6-7. All right.
I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, are you throwing blood or something? Hello?
You're just a stupid moron. Stupid ass moron. Whatever.
Oh yeah. Whatever, major loser. You did it completely wrong.
Whatever, major loser.
Whatever, major loser.
Oh, the E. I didn't get the E.
Yeah.
So W-E-M. Hold on. Yeah.
L.
I am a
Horns
Lutheran.
down.
I am a No, shut up. You know what? Just for that, mute.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
What?
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's really interesting because you got to ask yourself, like, I'm being silly, I'm being stupid. You know that. This is not who I am. You don't see me going around stupid moron. You see me doing 6'7" because I mess with him, but I don't do that in real life.
Yeah, no, he's
You
never
know.
like this in public. He gets embarrassed by me sometimes.
Never have I been embarrassed by you. When was I embarrassed by you?
When we go to Walmart and I joke around and I laugh and then I slip and fall.
Well, because you're being stupid.
No.
You're a moron. Stupid moron.
No.
See. Really?
Oh yeah, C. I forget that's my name. I'm like, see what? I'm like, what am I looking at?
What are you looking at? That is such a telling comment there. What are you looking at? You're looking at your future. And before we get any further, I think we need to ask the burning question.
I think so too.
Here's our burning question for today.
Is your independence draining you? Your willpower is not infinite. Today's question is related to our main topic of managing your newfound freedom in college. Here it is. What is the term for the deteriorating quality of decisions a person makes after a long session of making choices? Is it A, self-discipline, B, consequence management, or C, decision fatigue? I'll give you a moment to think about it and then get you back to the Murph Man to see what the flashpoint is.
That's right, the flashpoint. The point of the question is, which one is it, Connor? What do you think it is? You have, what is the term for the deteriorating quality of decisions a person makes after a long session of making choices?
And the answers are, just so I could just,
Oh, self-discipline, consequence management, or decision fatigue.
decision fatigue.
That's right. The decision fatigue happens when you make too many choices. If you have too many choices, even small ones, your mental energy just burns out. Okay. Have you ever been at a restaurant and you see a menu that has like 20 million things to choose from?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Dad, can you order for me?
Okay.
Or was at a Mexican restaurant? Because I don't know Spanish. I'm
can't
just
read the
like,
menu.
yeah. I'm just like, here.
No.
I want that one.
See, when you eat food and you go out to eat, your decisions are easy. Why?
Because I always get the same thing.
Exactly.
Simple.
Exactly. If you don't think about what you have to eat, it's a simple decision. There's, I don't know how true it is, but they talked about Obama and he had the same suits, all the same color. Do you know why?
Why?
That took away one decision he had to make for the day. Because you think about it, you make decisions all day long. All day long. The first decision you make in the morning is what?
Waking up.
Getting up, right? You want to wake up, we're going to go back to bed. So the minute you open your eyes, you're making decisions. And then you have to go and you have to brush your teeth. And as you're brushing your teeth, I go left, right, first, right, up, down, whatever, There's so many decisions. If you really think about all the decisions you make, it's hard. So there's some things you have to look at. And one of them is create routines and a default schedule. What does that mean? Help reduce the number of small decisions you have to make. Okay. You make a decision that's already planned. That's one less thing you have to worry about.
Yeah.
For example, in the morning when we get ready to come here, we leave the house. We decide if we're going to get a drink or not. And then we get here, right? But it's a routine we already have. So it's not like we're making decisions per se. Now, what are we going to drink for the day? Is it going to be blue or orange or green? that's the thing we choose, right? But what other decisions have we made today so far? Where we're going to go eat later, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say waking up and all that.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but as far as
Oh,
the day
okay.
is,
Like after. Okay.
we already made this. We're gonna go eat somewhere afterwards. We already know where we're gonna go eat. Um, so what that also does is it plants an idea in his head about what we're eating. Now, I will tell you one piece of relationship advice that I can say after 25 years of marriage is when you're going out with your spouse and you want to decide where to eat, do not say, where do you want to eat? You say, what do you feel like eating? Because that automatically eliminates a bunch of decisions. If I ask Connor, what do you feel like eating today? And he says a hamburger, I'm not going to take him to a Chinese restaurant, right? So by asking that simple question, you eliminate a lot of confusion and discussions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, what do you feel like eating? Sorry, guys, we're dog sitting right now, and they're in the room with us.
He's even outside the room.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well,
He's just
but
loud.
it is loud. It's a loud squeaky toy.
I heard it. I was like, I don't. Oh God.
A choice we have to make. Next break, take away the toy. But where do you want to eat is the simplest way to do this, because we all have places we like to eat. But if I ask you, do you want to go to a certain fast food restaurant? All the burgers are different, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, they're all made differently. They all taste differently. So you have to think about that as just a burger, or is it more than just a burger? One thing I'll tell you, I go to McDonald's with Connor once in a while, and we walk in, we order, and I think I'm gonna order something, and then I see the McRibs on special.
Oh yeah. You're like, oh, the McRib.
The McRib decision's done for me, right? And there's so many things about impulsive buying. We're gonna talk about this later, you guys, but having a routine and a schedule helps you reduce those decisions. When you go to a restaurant, if you know what you're gonna eat beforehand, it makes the decision easier once you're there. You don't have to sit there and go tell the waiter, I'll come back. I don't know what to eat, right? One thing I like about all you can eat buffets is there's choices. But then how many times have you walked around going, ooh, I don't know, don't want this. Let me look at the whole buffet. And you look at all the decisions and you're like, I don't know what I really want, right? So sometimes too many decisions is bad. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why fancy restaurants have very few items on their menus. Do you remember when we went to San Antonio for Christmas? Was it Christmas?
Which time? Well, yeah, it's always Christmas.
Well, but when we went to the tower
with
with my girlfriend and her son,
Mm-hmm.
that was Christmas time, right?
Yeah, Christmas, New Year's.
Right.
Yeah.
The menu was, you have steak, a beef item, a chicken item, and a seafood item. Pick. You have a decision to make. And I'm going to share something with you guys. I had a night for his mom's our first Valentine's together, and that was the first time I really ate at a fancy restaurant. But I wanted to do something, and I'm not going to tell you about the whole night. But at dinner, I had pre-ordered the dinner, I had prepaid the dinner, I prepaid the tip, I prepaid everything. Okay, and we're at dinner, and they bring the salad out, and it has these little strips of meat. And my wife goes, well, she wasn't my wife at the time. She goes, what's this meat? I said, it's duck. And she's like Daffy Duck? And she made the hand signal that like Daffy Duck. And every time she ate this piece of meat, she felt weird eating duck. I said, look, I need to know right now, because there's three choices. You have beef, chicken, or lobster. I said, those are your three choices. The chicken option was duck. If you don't want duck, that's your lunch or dinner, I should say. If you don't want dinner, then we need to change that meal. I've already ordered it. You know what I mean? It's already ordered. And she's like, no, it's fine. It's actually, duck was delicious, by the way. Just want to point that out. She loved the duck. And when the waiter came, she says, here, get the duck out of here. But no comment? No response?
No. I knew that was going to happen. I was like, yeah.
Okay. But those decisions, even though there was just three choices, I made the decision for her because I already knew what her habits were, right? It wasn't like you cannot eat beef or you cannot eat. I just knew she preferred chicken, so we tried the duck. That's why those fancy restaurants have those limited menus to push people through faster. And then also in the back, you don't have to make so many different things cooking.
True.
When we used to go to all you can eat wings, the managers hate that. Do you remember why?
Why?
Because everyone's cooking wings and the fryers, it's hard to cook fries, it's hard to cook anything else that's fried because everyone wants wings. Now, are you going to buy more fryers? You could, but kitchens only have certain setups. And, sometimes when you have too many things on the menu, it gets hard on the kitchen staff in the back. I know you never worked in the kitchen, but it's interesting to see behind the scenes in the kitchen. But I'll tell you what, Connor, I think the heat is rising.
Is it?
You think it's time to fan the flames?
Yeah.
Let's see what today's hot take is.
The freedom that derailed everything. The biggest test is independence. Today's hot take is the exhilarating freedom of college is also its biggest test. Without the structure of home, you have to learn to be your own boss and create your own systems, or that freedom will absolutely derail you. Let's hear what the Murph Man and Connor have to say about this.
Your freedom will derail you. That's what we've been talking about. Too many decisions, decision fatigue gets you more trouble than it's worth. Okay. Yeah. Without the structure of home, you have to learn to be your own boss. And that's one of the hardest things to do, especially if you're away from home for college. Because you have so much freedom and you also have a lot of free time. And if you don't know how to fill that free time, what are you going to do? Right? Like your schedule. You have class after class after class, you're done. Class after class, you're done. Right? And then one day you have like class and then you have like a 2-hour break and then class.
Yep.
And what do you do on that break? Homework. Right?
Yeah. Or study, depending on what I'm doing in my next class.
So that schedule you have, you planned in time for yourself to do the schoolwork. Mm-hmm. And after obviously, after you're done with school, you have all the time in the world if you want to stay there and go to the library or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Or go to the UGLC or something, right? But as you're doing this and you have your schedule, you don't think, oh, during the semester, this is what I want, right? You don't do that because you just make a schedule with what's available.
Yeah.
But yet you can decide Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, morning, afternoon. There's some decisions you can make there. Okay. But when you look at your course schedule, there's a lot of choices you can make. And when you have semesters that are only one class, it throws you off for the second semester. There's a lot of things that you have to look at, so let's hope that you're able to do those kinds of things and that freedom doesn't affect you too much. Okay, Connor?
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, I think we should take a quick break. We can come back and discuss the terms that we're going to be discussing today and laying down the codes. Pay attention to this commercial, you guys. It is about veteran suicide awareness.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
According to the VA's suicide data report, an average of 22 veterans die by suicide every single day. This figure is a sobering reality and a crisis that demands our immediate attention and compassion. We must recognize and address the fact that every 24 hours, 22 veterans are losing their lives to suicide. The war doesn't always end when our veterans come home. The invisible wounds they carry, wounds that are real and heavy, require continuous support. No veteran should have to carry this burden alone. Many veterans experience stress and disconnection as they navigate life after service. But there is hope, there is help, and you are not alone in this fight. There's a vibrant community ready to support you, offering friendship, understanding, and shared experiences. You served your country, now let us serve you. Don't fight the toughest battle in silence. Your mission now is to reach out. dial 988, then press 1. Text them at 838255. The Veterans Crisis Line is available 24/7. Every day, we save lives. Your life is invaluable, and your service is honored. Let's work together to make 22-0 again. No veteran should face their struggles alone. Together, we can ensure every veteran finds the support and hope they deserve.
He gets help, but he still feels off. Sees an ad on the TV about a dog bad and said, this is a man's best friend. Whoa, so he goes one day and he picks it up. Never thought a dog could bring so much love and put a smile on his face. But he's finally found a saving grace. He needs help, but he don't know the path to take or the way to go to be free. Put his mind at ease. We will help, 'cause we can't stand to see a soldier go to God by their own hands. We will do everything we can to make 22-0 again.
Before we jump back in, a quick reminder of where to find us. For all the short clips and highlights, make sure you're following us on social media. You can find all the show details on our website, purehottakes.com. And for full show replays and exclusive premium content you won't hear anywhere else, be sure to subscribe at stream915.com.
Before we get back into it, you guys, thank you for coming back from the break. Again, I want to pause for this because this is something I want to be doing all November. I was inspired by Ryan Spencer's song, Make 22-0 again. I want to remind you, help is always available 24/7, 365. If you need support or crisis call, you'd call 988 and press 1, or you can text 838-255. And help is ready whenever you need it. Remember, you're not alone. I was at a VA appointment this weekend, and they asked me that, are you suicidal? I said, no. If you are, and they gave me the information, I know the information. But I got it. Heartache is burning now, and it's time to build the foundation. So let's get to laying down the coals and define our terms for today that we're going to be discussing in our segment called Laying Down the Coals.
Defining the independence trap. Master the vocabulary of success. Before we dig in, let's clarify the 3 key terms we'll be using today. Self-discipline, the ability to regulate your own behavior to align with your long-term goals. It's the muscle you use to do what you need to do, even when you don't feel like it. Decision fatigue, the declining quality of your decisions after making too many of them, leading to poor choices like ordering pizza for the 3rd night in a row. Consequence management. This is just the real-world result of your choices. For instance, skipping class repeatedly leads directly to a lower grade. Now that the coals are laid out, let's discuss the foundation of today's topic with the Murph Man and Connor.
That's right, you guys. Mastering the vocabulary today is going to be self-discipline, decision fatigue, and consequence management. Every decision has a consequence.
Yeah, consequence.
So, self-discipline. No one is. Remember, this is about being independent. You're on your own. You got to be disciplined, and you have to take care of this yourself in order for this to be effective. We can't hold your hand forever, you guys, as parents. At some point, you have to do things for yourself. Okay. We already talked about decision fatigue. Too many decisions makes you make some poor choices, like ordering pizza for the 3rd night in a row. That's easy, right? Just order pizza, but that's not a great decision, And last but not least is consequence management. Just the real world result of your decision. Every decision has a consequence. So those are the terms we're going to be discussing today. And it's interesting because when I talk about every choice has a consequence, you've heard of the butterfly effect.
Yeah.
And if you ever study history, that butterfly effect is so interesting because you need to go and say, okay, because of this one incident, all these things happened. Knocking down the towers on 9/11, right? How many things changed for us because of that?
TSA at airports.
The Patriot Act, spying on us, spying on citizens and everything, right? It's one of those things that...
Do you want me to take it away from here?
Yes, please.
Okay. Or just close. I'll be back.
Just, he wasn't playing with it like all morning, and then all of a sudden, just take it with me. And
you want them to hear it?
Oh, true. So anyway, he's like, attention, give me attention. But yeah, so it's right here. So no one's there to force you to do things, and every decision has a consequence. To get the butterfly effect, one little thing changes everything in your life. You know, from a simple thing like going to a friend's house for Friendsgiving and trying the ham for the first time and then getting sick and ruin my whole vacation week, just wasn't good. I've been sick all week. Didn't even go anywhere to have Thanksgiving turkey, you know. That little decision of just going to a friend's house and eating ham had major consequences for me. Going to college, dropping out, I ended up having to pay all my classes back. Okay, that cost money, and I got nothing for it. When I finally decided to go to college, and I was disciplined enough to stay going to college and be sticking with it, I graduated in 2001 with my master's degree and prepared to be a counselor. I had all the requirements I needed for that. Those 7-8 years were very difficult. They're not easy, but you have to be disciplined to stick through it. You know, doctors having to go through 12, 16 years of college is amazing that they have to do all that. Okay. There's so many decisions, and when you have self-discipline, it makes it easier to do that. You know, but I'll tell you what, you know, I can talk about my stories as much as I want, but I think they need to hear, you know, the story from the fire. What do you think, Connor?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, let's hear the story from the fire about Kevin.
From chaos to default schedule, the trap of the 9 a.m. alarm. Kevin spent his first month of college staying up until 3 a.m., playing video games, and then sleeping right through his 9 a.m. lecture. After he failed his first midterm, he had a major wake-up call. He created a default schedule, setting non-negotiable alarms for both waking up and going to bed, and started treating his classes like mandatory appointments he could not miss. His grades turned around instantly because he replaced endless choices with simple routines. That was today's story from the fire. Hey, Murph Man, are you feeling the heat?
Yeah, Murph Man, are you feeling the heat?
I am. It's very hot in here. No, you know, playing video games is one of those things that's so addictive. You don't realize how addictive it can be. You know what I mean? The fact that you spend hours on a video game is amazing. Not just you, I'm saying a person. And in college, imagine being in a dorm with everyone who's playing video games. The whole Call of Duty, Battlefield, you know, Halo.
That'd be funny.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
It would be cool, right?
That would be actually cool.
But that means like the whole dorm is not studying. You know, it's really difficult. You know, and as we know, being in the dorm isn't the best place to be sometimes, right? We're gonna talk about this next week, but you know, eventually Kevin got his act together, made a schedule, and set his alarms, and was able to get on with it. You know, so keep that in mind as we talked about, you know, the independence that we all have as adults. Okay. The 9 a.m. alarm is nice because you don't have to wake up early anymore, but you start off the day rushing. You know, when you go to school, sometimes you leave early, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you leave late, but
Mhm.
you always get out of bed at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's the point. Your routine as you're going changes, but you start the day off as it's supposed to.
He found it
Well, where'd you put it? Put
on
it somewhere you can get it.
on the table. He jumped up. Did you not? That's what I was saying. He jumped up and it fell, and then he opened the doors.
I'm sorry.
Hey,
I find it cute. What can I say?
No.
He's a great dog, you guys. It's a great dog. We love these dogs, but they love these toys.
trying to lick me. Wait.
He's not gonna give up the toy.
Stop trying to lick my arm. Hold on.
A decision that the consequence of your decisions, Connor.
I'm taking you outside. Come on, let's go. Both of you. Now.
They're not listening to him.
Come on, no.
Negro, go.
Come on.
Oh, he's growling at you, Connor. There he is. All right. So I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, so waking up at the same time every day is so important because you can decide what you're going to do for that morning. Sometimes Connor will take a shower. Sometimes it takes it at night, brush your teeth, comb your hair. There's so many things we have to do in the morning. You have to get the routine. The routine and schedule is the most important thing anybody can have. In the military, they plan things 6 months in advance or more. Okay, 18 months actually. And you're able to tell yourself, okay, 18 months from now, this is what I'm going to be doing. You can prepare for it. You can plan for it. I have a thing where I'm trying to pay off debt, and I have my little budget set up, and I have all my little plans of what I'm going to pay off here and there. And I'm paying off my debt. And right now, I'm hoping I can buy a new house, get out of the one I'm in, get a new car. So many things we got to do, but you have to plan for it. A plan is the most important thing you can have. Okay. As we go on here and we talk about college students specifically, you can plan on going to class. You can be walking to class, bump into a friend, start talking, and not even realize the time passes and you're late to class. In college, some teachers will shut the door and they don't let you in the classroom. You're late, you're late. I don't know if that still happens as much as it used to, but in my day, I don't mind people being late to my classes. But you come in and you sit down in the back seat, close to the door. You don't walk into the front we normally sit and disturb the entire class, right? So doing that and thinking of other people is nice, but if you were just on time, you wouldn't have to worry about it. Okay. So let's think about that. And let's talk about the heat map, the guide to your actionable steps that you need to have in order to move on.
Build systems, not just willpower. Stop choosing, start doing. Here is the heat map to manage your freedom. Create a weekly default schedule that blocks out non-negotiable time for classes, studying, meals, and social activities. Treat your schedule like it's set in stone. Learn to cook 3 to 5 simple, healthy meals so you aren't always relying on expensive, time-consuming, and unhealthy takeout. Reduce that decision fatigue. Use the one-in, one-out rule for social plans. For every night you go out, plan a night in to study or rest. Balance is crucial. The map is drawn. Back to the Murphman for the next segment.
Those are some really good points there, Connor. I want you to think about this, okay? We already talked about creating a schedule. That's just something we do anyway, okay? That's just part of my life. That's something everyone's going to do no matter what, okay? And then learn to cook 3 to 5 simple, healthy meals so you aren't relying on expensive other meals. we have some really cheap meals that I've taught him to make that are very easy to make. What do you think is the cheapest meal besides ramen?
Butter sandwiches.
Butter. That's a snack. I mean, a meal. Think about when we eat that's so simple.
The simplest thing I could think of would be
Thank you.
bologna and cheese tacos. No.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, or is it something else simpler?
I think that's the simplest,
Well,
personally.
guess
A
that
sandwich is simple too, right? But bologna and cheese tacos, I don't know if I call that healthy or not.
It's not healthy. Instead of like a ham and cheese, it's bologna instead.
Yeah.
And it's melted on
a tortilla.
Well, but like corn, right?
Yeah, corn tortillas. And but it's a simple meal you can make. Doesn't take a lot of time, but it stops you from going to eat out. Yesterday, we were talking about what do you want to have, and I'm like ramen. I wasn't feeling good. Ramen, just something simple. And he made some ramen, but we dressed it up with some cheese and some eggs and some, really cool, good stuff, right?
Cheese and eggs. I know cheese, but not eggs.
Oh, you didn't put egg in it? Oh,
You put egg in it?
Sometimes.
I just put the cheese.
I need more protein.
I put the cheese in ice cube.
An ice cube. That's just that thing he's learned since he was a baby.
When I was a little kid, it was too hot for me, so I decided to get an ice cube and put it in my ramen and like stir it in so it could cool down.
Yeah, instead of just waiting a little bit,
I was like, I'm hungry. I need this now.
And yeah, that's what we would do. But we had a plan to eat at home all week. Connor ended up having last minute plans made with all his friends, right? And he also had a father who was sick, who didn't want to eat anything, so we bought all these groceries and we hardly cooked at home. We hardly ate out too, but he ate at his friends. I didn't really eat much. I was sick. But we have meals we can make that are healthy. We just haven't been around to make them. One of the things they talk about here is the 1 in, 1 out rule, Connor. For every night you go out, you make one night you're going to study.
Yeah.
But when you go out Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then you have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, does it work that way? Or does it need to be Thursday, then a day off, and Saturday, a day off?
I mean, it depends if I do work like during school also. Like on the Friday when I have a gap, I could do study there. Sundays I study.
Yeah.
Sometimes Thursdays because I have an online class, so it's like just 2 classes.
And how many times do your friends call you last minute to go out?
A lot.
A lot.
A lot. As in this whole week.
They're all, you guys are on vacation, but
now we are. Well, no, we're not. We have school next week.
But the thing with you is you have different groups of friends.
Yeah.
So one group will call you, hey, let's go play basketball. Another group will say, let's go eat dinner. Another group will say, we got to study, right?
Yeah.
So it's like there's different things that you're doing. Now, when you're out there studying, does that work for you? Going out with your friends and studying with them?
Yeah.
Or staying at school late and study with them, right?
Yeah.
So I think you're doing the 1 out, 1 out, 1 out, 1 in, 1 out rule pretty good. Even though you're not really focusing on 1 in, 1 out, you're dedicating the time you need to the work you're doing. And you're dedicating time to your friends. So you're not ignoring your friendships. Because I told you, one of the biggest things about college is networking, making friends and understanding those jobs. Like, for example, your 2 friends that you hang out with most, do you know what their degrees are?
Mechanics.
Mechanical engineering? Oh, no. I'm talking about the college girls.
They were a business. Now they're doing like digital like media assets or something. Oh, like media advertising.
Okay. All right. Speaking of media and digital stuff, we're gonna have the Digital Inferno today, but we also have a guest coming on.
Oh.
Yeah, his name's Javier, and he's actually like a local entrepreneur. He's gonna tell you all about it, you guys. So at 11:30 or 1:30 Eastern time, we will have that guest on here, and he'll talk about some really interesting stuff that he does with AI. I know you hate AI, but it's also technology.
Yeah, I'll listen. I'll listen to what he says.
I will tell you something though. Over the week, I always wait for Black Friday deals, right? So I bought some apps I've been waiting for that give me lifetime access, right?
Yeah.
And I was able to get them at a pretty good price. And I also got my streaming for the year. And I got, technology is one of those things you have to learn, you guys. It's not easy. It's not easy. You have to learn technology at any age. At our age, as boomers, right? People who don't know anything about technology, it's a big deal, right? It's a big deal. How can you not know technology? I've been with it since it started, and I try to keep up. I don't know everything about it, but since June, I've expanded my knowledge tenfold on technology, and all the things I'm doing with social media. By the way, last week we were at 368 followers. This week, 520. So keep it up, you guys. Right? But yeah, when you're doing all this and you're making decisions and you're planning and you have a schedule and all that stuff, it's interesting because technology is there for you. Google Calendar. The one question everyone has, I'm telling you right now, everyone has it, is when's recycling pickup? Right? Do you drive into your neighborhood and go, oh, it's recycling day today?
Yeah.
Right? But how many times have you driven in and there's nothing out yet? And you're like, is it recycling today?
Once in a while.
Do you remember what I respond to you?
Check the calendar.
Well,
or check the website or check the fridge you just tell me.
Well, the one I tell you is, you're not thinking what I'm thinking, but is I don't know. If there is, my calendar will remind me with a reminder, right? That's what I don't, that's one less decision I have to make. And I can tell you when it's recycling because I'll get the notification. So it's one of those things that, technology can help you if you know how to use it. Notion, we talked about this last week, taking notes for you. Black Friday week, there's so many apps out there that like an AppSumo. I don't know if you know what that is or not. But it's a website that has all different software and stuff. And it had organization, they had note take, you can go to AppSumo, check in all their apps, and there's some deals right now, and they come with money back guarantee. And the thing about it is you might find something that will help you with note taking and everything. One thing that I love is you can literally have your laptop with you or your tablet, and it'll take the notes for you. So at the end of the class, you can go, summarize this for me. What do you think, Connor? Is that something that you use?
Once in a while, yeah. On chemistry, I would summarize the PowerPoints.
Right. And it helps you with that.
Yeah.
Have you asked it to do anything like make a quiz for me or anything like that?
Yeah, actually.
Really, which app have you used for that?
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
But it didn't work because it kept asking me oh, what do you want? You want A, B, C, D? Do you want fill in the blank or? And then it was after that, it was how many questions do you want? 10, 20, 50, 50. All right, what do you want? You want type A or type B or just random questions? No, just random questions. You want format? Do you want name? Dude, it asked me so many questions trying to set up a quiz and flashcards that I lost my free limit. I wasted my free limit on trying to make the whole quiz.
Okay, first off,
I was
you have Perplexity. That's free. You have the pro version of that because you're a student.
Well, I haven't used that.
I know. Okay. But what you're referring to, Connor, is known as the prompt. Okay. The prompt. It's one of those things that you don't realize what AI is. You're so against AI, but it's called the prompt. And let me see if I can find it here for me. Well, I have too many. When you're working with AI, because it's a large language model, it doesn't tell you exactly what you need, okay? But it does tell you, hey, this is what you're asking me, okay? And let me see if I can find it here. No, let me do a search for, give me a sec. I'm sorry. Oh, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to read you something real quick. Okay. This is my prompt. This is one prompt that I created on AI. It's funny you mentioned this because I'm going to show you something. Okay. Instructions: copy and paste this entire block every week. Fill in the episode title and episode core topic only. All other bracketed segments like concept steps and story content will be automatically extracted by the AI after you submit the raw script in step 2. Part 1. It has all the blocks that I need, all the titles, everything. This is just so I can format my stuff for my notes. Second one, host answers. Gives me the segment, gives me the burning question, extracts the question and the choices. So it's all nice and neat there. Okay. Then I ask it to do that for all 11 segments. And then I make a slideshow out of each one. Right? You see my slides?
Yeah.
And then I have it integrate the following breaks after certain points. And then I have it with an execution. And here's my prompt. That entire thing I'm reading is my prompt, okay? But specifically, AI must analyze a provided episode core topic, generate a unique short attention grabbing hook for every segment, voiceover listed below, and based on the episode core topic. I'll put a message confirming the hook, and remaining planning details will be extracted from this next input. And then it goes down and gives all the segments. And then raw script, AI must first automatically extract all the remaining plan details, generate the final complete script, and make sure you have it in under a minute. Integrate the conversational disclaimer, integrate this outro, ensure the call to action, critical format, preserve the structural flow of block integrity in the raw script. This is a prompt. That entire thing I'm reading, I didn't read the whole thing, is a prompt that I have to put into an AI program before I ask it to do anything for me with my script.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Because the thing about the prompt, and that's what AI is. If you've seen the courses in 20 days, learn how to use AI. You've seen those?
Yeah.
It gives you how to do prompts for everything. There's cheat codes of prompts. I don't know if you've ever seen those cheat codes. I think I've sent them to you. No?
Prompts?
Yeah. Look up ChatGPT prompts or prompts for AI, and it tells you, I need this to do this by doing this and look for this. And the way you write it tells the app what to do. Okay. But prompt writing is the most important thing. And what's funny about that specific prompt is, do you think I wrote that all in one sitting?
No.
No. So I put my script into it and I said, okay, here's the things we're going to talk about. I have 47 hooks that I want to use specifically. Find me the 8 or 10 that are applicable to today's episode. And it writes me the hook. You know, I have the voiceover already, which is the stuff that I want to say with edited through AI. But that prompt, for example, let's say the breaks, it would put in the wrong spot. I would say, correct my prompt to put the break after the heat map. And I do it again. So that long prompt is what I enter before I even start working on it.
Yeesh.
So when you're saying it asked me this, it asked me that, you can write a prompt that says, I want you to review these slides, make 50 questions in this format with multiple choice, and that all the things it was asking you,
well,
all in one prompt. And then that's what AI is.
Yeah, that's why I hate it.
But
I couldn't study that well because it was like, oh, you reached your limit, man. Too bad, too sad.
Because you're not using Perplexity. There's no limit. But yeah, Gemini, you know, Perplexity, Comet. There's a bunch of stuff I've given you. Notion. There's a bunch of stuff you can use. But writing a prompt is the hardest thing to do with AI. And that's what you have to learn how to do. And he can tell you, when I was coming up with all my graphics and stuff, I asked for something like, give me an image with this. And it'll give me an image, but then it will misspell the word inside of the image because AI doesn't do well with text. It creates an image, but as long as there's no text involved, it's great. But like all my intro clips, right? I was like, the heat shields. I said, I want to make a heat shield segment for my podcast. I wanted to reflect heat. I wanted to be like call to act, you know. I get all these little tips, and then it came up with an amazing video. and that was actually Artlist.io. Artlist is amazing. It's $40 a month though.
Yeesh.
But if you're doing videos, Artlist is just wow. But it gave me that video. Now the other videos that you see, I had to like create them and edit them. But that heat shields one, remember when it first came on, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's exactly what I want. Because I wrote the prompt correctly for it.
Yeah.
Now sometimes you can say, make me an image of a burger, right? Is that a good prompt?
No.
No. Why?
What burger? What do you want?
What kind of bread? What kind of meat do you want? Lettuce, tomato, onions, pickle, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So even a simple thing that you get out of it, you want more detail in the prompt. The more detail you can write in a prompt, the better you're going to be. And we'll talk to Javier about that. Okay. One of those things that we're also doing is, as we're what's the word I'm looking for? As we're making the prompt, you got to change the prompt, because you're going to get an answer and you're like, that's not what I wanted. How can I change my prompt for what I want? So you edit it as you go along. Okay. Yeah, I did get a little sidetracked, and I'm sorry about the prompts, but you brought up the prompt, and I was like, you have no idea.
You just need to talk about it, yeah.
You have no idea how much a prompt matters when you're doing stuff.
It matters a lot, and I don't like it.
So much so. But I do want to... you know, I want to do this without getting burned out. And the way we do that is we had the heat map tells us where to go. And let's talk about, you know, that after the break.
All right. Which one are we doing? Just to make sure I got this in.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
Justice Jackson, they captured Herman Goring alive.
Tell me about him.
He's the face of the Nazis. I'm going to put Goring on trial.
I thought escape's the hangman's noose. Very sure of yourself.
No man has ever beaten me.
Goring has to fall.
You don't just have to win, you have to be flawless.
You're walking into a trap.
Knowing what we know now, would you still follow Adolf Hitler?
Nuremberg, rated PG-13, since November.
Before we jump back in, a quick reminder of where to find us. For all the short clips and highlights, make sure you're following us on social media. You can find all the show details on our website, purehottakes.com. And for full show replays and exclusive premium content you won't hear anywhere else, be sure to subscribe at stream915.com.
It's time for a break. Hot Takes with the Murph Man will return after these messages.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard, MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at MB Radio.
Take a moment, take your time, let it set right. Let it drive right down in your conscious tide. Lean into the better times. 'Cause in a minute, in a moment, you'll notice a shining light. One that draws you in from deep inside. Reach out and connect tonight. What colors do you see?
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at nbradio.net.
All right, and we're back, you guys. But before we get back to the show, I want to let you guys know that we stream every Saturday live, 12 p.m. Eastern, with Military Broadcast Radio. You can check them out at nbradio.us. We give veterans a voice, and we help them launch their own podcasts. So if that's something you're interested in, reach out to us, and we'd be happy to help you out. You can also go to purehottakes.com for all my socials and a special link for Thursday Black Friday deals to sign up for stream915.com. You know, and we've talked about action in the heat map. Now it's time to talk about caution. Let's dive into where you're going to get burned so you know exactly which common mistakes to avoid. You know, I have 3 mistakes that you'll see constantly.
The freedom mistakes that sink you. The danger zone starts now. A few critical pitfalls to avoid. Don't treat college like a vacation. It's a full-time job where you are now your own boss. Don't ignore your physical health. Poor sleep and bad nutrition will absolutely tank your academic performance, guaranteed. Don't procrastinate on big projects. Break them down into smaller, defined steps and schedule those steps on your calendar now. Danger zone identified. Back to the Murph Man for the warning.
All right, so college isn't a vacation from your parents, okay? You know, you live with me still, but when you're going away to college, it's not a vacation. You're working, you guys. That's your job. Go to school. All right. Don't ignore your physical health. That's one of those things that everyone calls the freshman crud, right? Do you know one thing that's simple that that you can do to avoid getting sick? Washing your hands. That simple act is something that can prevent you from getting sick of a lot of different things. And, you know, also don't procrastinate on the big projects. Do you have a big project or anything that you have to do in college, Connor?
So far in engineering, we just done a model of a flashlight. That's it.
Model of a flashlight? Okay.
Like we're taking people's needs into like what they want in a flashlight.
Oh, okay.
And trying to make a new one out of it.
So basically they're giving you prompts on how to do it.
Yeah. We've been getting prompts. It's like, look at the flashlight and then think of a problem that it would have. So you make your own problem and then you solve it from that problem.
Do you know what that's called?
I don't know.
Engineering.
Oh, well, yeah.
The whole thing about engineering, guys, is you're a problem solver in different areas. But an engineer, and I cannot wait for him to graduate and be able to solve problems because it's going to be such a cool conversation. Because, for example, when we talk about psychology, all right, the room colors, the colors of art, the colors that we wear to class, you know, to the show, and it's all planned, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Outfit of the day and all that. Yeah.
But if I had bright, like chartreuse yellow, like the safety vest yellow curtains, or I painted the wall fluorescent orange or fluorescent hot pink or something, Barbie colors, do you think that'd be pleasant to look at?
No.
And be in a room like that?
It's too bright.
So there's things that psychology has to do with that. Now, when you talk about engineering and creating a flashlight, what's one thing I want you to think about that? Okay, is have you ever had a flashlight that has the off and on button on the bottom?
Yeah.
Right, because you're gonna hold it like this, right? But if I'm gonna be holding it like this, do I want that on the bottom?
No.
No, I want the button here. So even as simple as a flashlight is, how are you gonna hold it? How is it gonna be used? Right, determines the position of the button.
Yeah.
And you don't think of stuff like that. The width of it. How thick do you want it? You know,
like a
how
TV
long do you
remote
want
or
it?
something.
Was that?
Like a TV remote or like.
Have you ever had those really big TV remotes?
No.
Okay. As long as we have our nice and handheld, right? But when you go to Roku, it's a tiny one.
Yeah.
Right. That's a little. You got to get used to it.
Well, no, that's my size. The Roku's my size. But our actual TV one's a little bigger.
Yeah. You get used to it, right?
Yeah.
But all of that is engineered. You think about it. All those problem solvers that you're asking right now is what you got to ask. The prompting. Same thing with AI. You got to prompt it. Okay. So I'll warn you of these pitfalls. Okay. Is you'll understand that things are going to happen. And if they do, hopefully you have a way to prevent it. You know what we call that section, Connor?
Heat shields.
We call it the heat shields.
Tools to control your own schedule. Protect your grades, not your ego. Here are your 3 heat shields. The book Atomic Habits by James Clear is a masterclass in building good systems and beating decision fatigue. Budgeting apps like Mint or YNAB are essential for managing your financial freedom, which is a huge part of independence. A good physical planner or a digital tool like Google Calendar is non-negotiable for sticking to your default schedule. The shields are up. Murphman, what's next?
Your shields are up. I love that, right? Protect us from getting burned. All right. Again, I always recommend the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's good about creating systems and beating decision fatigue. Okay. Budgeting apps like Mint or YNAB are essential for managing your financial freedom, which is a huge part of independence. Managing your money. One thing you've learned about managing money, what have you learned?
I spend more money on card than cash.
If you have cash, that's what you have to spend. You don't go over that. On a card, if you have money on the account, you just swipe, right? You don't even think about how much you're spending. So one little habit change like that is using cash when you go out. It's so important, right? What did you look at the YNAB?
No.
I asked you to look it up.
I was reading it.
Okay.
Because you told me.
You did look it up.
No, I was going to, and you said read the prompt from the video. So I didn't even get a chance to look it up.
All right, look up YNAB.
That's
look up YNAB.
That's what I was gonna do, and you said
Okay.
read. I had nothing to read. I had to Google because I didn't even open a new tab.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Kids.
Don't blame this on kids. Do not blame this on kids. Wow.
When I said YNAB, you're like, what? I said, look it up. It's on
You
the
said
screen.
look. Yeah, it's on the screen.
YNAB. It's not like a word. It's an acronym.
You need a budget. YNAB stands for you need a budget.
Okay. That's all. I said, look at what YNAB means.
Yeah, and I was going to, and you said read the screen.
Because you're like, what?
Because I'm looking.
You need a budget. Okay?
It's because
Most important thing, you guys, you need a budget. One thing Connor learned, he had his financial aid money, but during the semester, like you had to buy stuff throughout the whole semester, right? Did you know that at the beginning of the semester?
No.
But what did I tell you? Keep a couple $100 in there because you're gonna have to buy stuff, like your lab coat,
answer sheets.
Yeah, blue books. Wait for the essays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have to do if they do it in writing nowadays. In my day, we had to have these blue books, like little composition books with like 10 pages or 20 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Look
up what?
Look up how many pages come in a blue essay page for college. Because I'm wondering, because I had 5 when I turned in my essay for my final composition exam.
Is it essay blue book?
Yeah, essay blue book.
Essay blue book exam booklet contains 16 pages.
16 pages. Okay. I knew it was an odd. I didn't think about an odd number. It can't be odd. It has to be even.
Yeah.
So I submitted 5 books. The 5th one wasn't completely. So what's 4 times 16? Probably about 90 pages of stuff I wrote in 4 hours. It's a small book. It's not a full page.
That is not 90. That's like 16 times 4.
And 10 more would be
64.
74.
74.
Okay. I said around 90, but yeah, okay. 75 pages. Is that better?
Yes. Can't 75 and 100 is a very large margin.
It is. Okay. So 75 pages. I had to write my essay answer in the books. 75 pages.
Yeesh, I could never.
Well, of course, you guys don't even write anymore.
Hey.
You know what I felt bad for was the teachers had to read my writing.
Why, cursive or what?
Yeah. You have to do cursive. We don't have to, but I mean, I'm an adult.
I'm like, we don't have to.
I'm an adult. We cursive, you know.
I hate cursive sometimes.
Sometimes. Do you even know how to do it?
Yeah. I learned it in 3rd grade.
Really?
Yeah. I did my name in 3rd grade.
But you know cursive?
From what I remember, yeah.
Okay. Stay tuned. Next week, Connor will write a paper in cursive.
Okay.
The
only cursive I can't understand, I don't know if you've seen on TikTok or not, but that German doctor handwriting, like the cursive handwriting.
Well, doctors have bad handwriting anyway.
No, but like the like the German cursive handwriting. Hold on. Keep talking real quick.
Let me tell you something about the German language. If you ever have a chance, look at the TikTok videos of languages compared to German. It sounds so harsh, just auditorily. Just it sounds so harsh, and it's saying the same thing as other languages. It's pretty funny if you ever get a chance to look at that. But anyway, going back to this, you need a budget, okay? You need to have a plan. You need to have a calendar. You know, same thing I've been saying all along, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm drilling that home. You know, but with the tools in hand, and I want you guys to think about this. Our next time is going to be called the afterburn, and in the afterburn, you know, it's those reflective questions, those things I want you to think about before you get burned.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Freedom's true price tag. Turn learning into lasting action. Here are some questions for reflection. What does my ideal balanced week actually look like, and how close am I to living it? What are my biggest time wasters, and how can I manage or eliminate them? What is one habit I can build this month that would make my life easier? Reflection complete. Murph-Man, time for your thoughts on these habits.
All right, first question. What does my ideal balance week actually look like? And how close are you to it, Connor? What do you think is an ideal week?
Sunday you rest or study. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you go to school, do homework, clean. Saturday, actually I lie. Sunday you study. I'm gonna do Monday through Sunday. Monday through Friday, you go to school, you study. You keep everything organized. Saturday, that's your rest day. That's when you go out because it's a weekend.
Okay.
Sunday, you could either stay at home and do more studying and homework before the next school week starts, or you could have another rest day because no one goes out that much on Sundays except family.
I disagree. All right, let me tell you what my week looks like. I work from 7 to 3 every day.
Every day. Well,
Monday through Friday.
Yeah.
At 3 o'clock, I go donate plasma twice a week, whatever 2 days I choose there. Monday night, football. Thursday night, football. Tuesday night with friends. Friday night with you, we go do something, or you go with your friends or my friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then Sunday football. So
that's true. I forget about football.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it's saying like ideal, not like on how we are. You know what I mean?
No, how does your ideal week look like?
No, it says how close am I to my ideal balanced week?
Right.
From what I just said and from what you said, it's not the same.
You're right.
So we're not close to it.
No. We're 2 different weeks, my week and your week.
Well, but it's, I have the same week technically as you because we always do the same things.
Right, but I have my football in there. Right, we got to do football. Today, you're going to go with your friends, and you're not going to want to see the high school, the college games. Like right now, we have Ohio State and Michigan, and the score is what 10-3,
10-6,
10-6. Okay, go check it out. Apparently, it's been a really interesting game.
Yeah, 10-6. Ohio's leading.
The Ohio State.
Sorry.
You guys know that you got to call it the Ohio State, right? All right. What are your biggest time wasters, and what can you do to eliminate them, Connor?
TikTok. Get off Insta. Get off my phone.
As much as I tell you, use your phone for help, it's also a bad thing, right?
It's a bad thing.
My joke about TikTok. Do you know why it's called TikTok?
Why? Oh, the TikTok. Yeah, clock takes away.
It reminds me of Adventure Time when they're the computer and he touches the laptop and you see the clock. You don't remember that episode in Adventure Time? No, it's not Adventure Time. Gumball and whatever. What's the Gumball one?
Amazing Wonder Gumball.
Amazing Wonder Gumball. That one. They're looking something on the internet and how much is a waste of time. And they're like, they touch the keyboard and the time spins and the shape of the sun has passed. And they touch it again before they know it's midnight. You know, if you don't use apps properly, guys, you're gonna spend a lot of time on it. I can tell you right now, my addiction to the apps started during COVID. I was just laying there doing nothing. I would just scroll. Such a waste of time, right? Anything else you consider a waste of time?
Sleeping in,
right? Because you got to get up and go and do things in the morning. Like I was saying while you were gone, you know, either you decide to shower in the morning, shower at night, you know, whatever. But you always wake up at the same time.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
Another time waster. No, phone, sleeping in, not doing homework. Your free time, technically.
What do you mean?
Well, it depends what you do on your free time. I would consider that being a time waster.
But it's your free time. You can do whatever you want in your free time.
Well, but
there's better ways to spend your free time than others, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
And when you're there, right, one of those things you have to look at is your how much time do you actually spend wasting? What can you change? Okay. That's the biggest thing. What can you change? Okay. And the last thing it asks is, I'm sorry.
Wasn't it what
what's the one habit what's the one habit you could build this month that would make your life easier? That was the third question. What's the one habit you could do to make things easier for you? Anything?
Get off my phone. Or I put on Do Not Disturb so I don't get notifications.
Right, at night?
Yeah.
Oh my God, excuse me.
Ow, you kicked me.
I know I did.
Over yawn.
Okay. You know, but the thing about all this is when you have things you have to, like with me, I'm involved in so many different things. I got the podcast, I got work, I got you, I got football, I got stream915.com. I got to find time to do all of that, right? And that's what I have to do today and tomorrow. Is finish editing all my videos, including this one.
Yeah.
Okay. But I'll tell you what, when we talk about AI, we have a person that's going to come and talk to us right now. So let's get that set up and we'll be right back. Now, let me tell you real quick. I want you to play the
Fall Forever.
Yes.
Complicates and shakes you, consumes all that makes you deep inside your
And we are back here with our guest, Javier. How are you doing today, Javier?
Doing amazing, man. How about yourself? How's everybody doing?
Thank you for coming. I really appreciate you being here.
No, likewise, man. Appreciate you having me. I just moved out here from LA like about 2 weeks ago and been loving it out here, man. Life's great.
Well, can I ask you what brought you to El Paso from LA?
Yeah, so out there in LA, I was pretty much, managing, or I was pretty much working with a lot of like nightlife media and just a lot of like marketing, advertising. And that's when I started getting a little bit more into like AI, the AI industry of things, whether it was marketing, whether it was content creation, working with creators, everything, all that good stuff. So me moving out here to El Paso was just kind of a way to kind of prove it to myself. Long story short, out there in LA, working in nightlife every weekend, it just, constantly just, having too much fun, partying, blacking out and everything. And then at this point, I'm just kind of where I'm like, I need to just lock in. I have a cool AI agency with my business partner, and we're also working on creator management as well. So with all that kind of on the line, I'm just like, I need to get away from all that and just focus on myself, just lock in. And yeah, man, I've got a whole space out here to myself. I don't know anybody. I guess this is my first time interacting with others, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, so you came to what made you choose El Paso though? If you don't have family here or something.
No. I mean, I have a great opportunity to kind of be out here, be on my own, and I just kind of took it. Like it was just,
right on.
I couldn't pass up on it.
Take up that leap. I don't know if you ever read the book "Who Moved My Cheese." It's about two little mice, two little men in a maze. The cheese disappears. They have to go into the maze, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's 4 ways you respond to change, and one of them is he laughs at himself after he takes a leap, right? But he goes into the hallways and he writes on the wall.
Yeah.
And one thing he writes is, "What would you do if you weren't afraid?" And that's what you've done. You've taken that leap, right? You're here.
Yeah.
You're something different.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I mean, I'm always inspired by stuff like that. Where it's like, one person, going out, going out. You don't know anybody. You got to prove to yourself something. It's kind of like Batman. Like Batman. So that was stuff like that. I'm inspired by stuff like that, and I just wanted to live through that. You know what I mean? So why not?
I don't know if you were able to see the episode that we're doing today. We've been talking about independence and distractions, and we're talking about AI earlier. And my son was talking about how he uses AI to study for tests, but he sits there and he says, "God, I would ask you to do a question, right? A 50 question test." He came back and asked me, "Do you want to do it multiple choice, so on and so forth?" Then I would say that, and I said, "Do you want it formal, informal?" And I explained to him, for me, what I've learned is AI is all about the prompts that you write.
Oh yeah.
And I showed him one prompt that I made that's 4 pages long of what I needed to do. So when I enter into the system, I can give it a script, and it checks it for me. It does does all the things that I need to do.
Yeah.
And I told him, like, there's a chat GPT guide. There's all these prompts. That's to me, AI is learning how to write prompts. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It's all a matter of just like learning how to be in charge of AI rather than like, AI being better than you, right? I mean, that's kind of what AI is supposed to do. It's supposed to not replace you. I mean, it can replace you. I'm not going to lie, right? But definitely you want to be on the side of things where you know how to take the advantage of using AI,
My son's a computer science engineer student right now at UTEP.
Nice.
And ask him, what's your take on AI, Connor?
I hate it.
No, I mean, go ahead. I think you were going to say something.
Oh, no, I was just going to say he hates that AI is part of the future. And that's why when you reached out to me, I was like, I definitely want to have you on because you are using AI. So give me an idea of what AI does for you.
Yeah, no, definitely. Well, it does anything for me, whether it's, recommend me good ideas or whether it helps me out with, like, for example, right now, one of my main businesses that I'm doing, one of my streams of income that I'm doing right now is I run an AI agency. So what I do is, like, for example, there's a lot of small local businesses out there, right? And especially the contracting space. I like working with contractors, like whether the roofers, remodelers, all that good stuff.
Okay.
And what I do is I build them an AI agent or an AI employee, right? That pretty much is 24/7. And there's something online called N8N. You've heard of it, right?
No, that's
N8N.
not heard of.
Yeah. So N8N, pretty much what it does, it lets you build any sort of AI workflow, right?
Okay.
So I just got done building one. I just got to like integrate their Google accounts and all that stuff, right? And I'll be able to send it off to them. So pretty much what it does, it's like an employee that grabs the newsletter in the morning, right? So this guy, he wants me to scrape a bunch of leads for him, right? and this AI agent, as soon as it's 9 a.m., scrapes those leads, and then from there puts it into its Google Sheets, and after that, like it starts just emailing a bunch of those leads and everything, like, hey, check us out, blah blah blah.
You
So
know,
crazy.
earlier we were talking about AppSumo, where you can go buy all the apps online, right? Because we're not smart enough to create our own, right? That's amazing that you can do that.
It's
But
crazy.
we, one thing I was looking at was Sintra. I don't know if you've
Oh,
seen
yep.
that one.
Sintra.io, right? Something like that.
Yeah, AI.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what you're referring to. There's an
Yeah.
app you can buy and download it, and it'll do that for you. I use it for my content planning, right? It helps me write my scripts or whatever, and then I publish it. And I don't use Sintra, but I'm just saying the workflow you're talking about is what's the future of AI, because
Definitely.
everybody can use that. I can actually have it respond to my emails. I can have it respond to my comments on all my social medias. I can have it send out the newsletter, create a blog post for me.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, but you're creating it yourself.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like all it takes nowadays is just a little bit of understanding of Python. And obviously your son, like, don't get discouraged, man. If you already have a little bit of an idea of how to use Python or any sort of small Java, your leaps already above other people, right? Because other people, like, they would love to just know the basics, so they could just go on NAN and then boom, 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 like they understand all the code and everything. Because I don't. I got to use Grok or I got to use ChatGPT to fill out those lines for me.
Yeah.
And what's funny you mentioned that, like, one of the things I'm doing on my website is I have all my episodes installed on my well, not installed, but input it into my website, and I'm reading an AI so it can do a search engine to find the topics and what dates it's going to be and everything.
Yep.
So I'm working on that coding right now myself, but it's HTML. I don't use Python. I use HTML.
Okay.
I'm a boomer, right? When he graduated high school, one of the things I gave him was the TI-84 calculator that comes with Python, right?
Oh, wow.
To do coding.
Yeah.
And he's not at that point yet in his college career, but he has the calculator that has Python in it. So, and you've done some Python, right?
When this year?
No, not this year, but
oh,
I don't know
well,
about this year, but
not this year, no.
But in high school, you've done Python.
Freshman, and then a little bit junior, senior, I did Linux.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, no, like, see, he's got an advantage, man. Like, for example, my cousin, he went to school in UC Merced for, I think, 2 to 4 years. I want to say 4, just to say 4, and computer science as well. And now, he worked at a startup right after graduating for like a bit. And then that was like maybe 2-3 years ago when he did that. And then now he doesn't even focus on computers. Now he just does reselling. So I feel like people like that, it's like, dude, you have an advantage right now with AI and everything. Take advantage of it. Build AI agents and sell them for like $10,000 to the business. People would buy it like crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe you and I need to talk.
Let's do it. Yeah, no, let's do it. But it's crazy. It's crazy right now because I was literally yesterday on Twitter and or X, right? And there's this super big like thing that's going viral right now. I have it bookmarked actually, right? And it literally blew my mind, the fact that you can't trust anything, because look at this. So right now, the whole hype right now is Nano Banana Pro, right? The Gemini thing, right? Check this out. This guy literally put a whole prompt online on how to make this image.
Okay.
And these are going viral because what people are doing, I don't know if you were able to see it, right?
Yeah.
Here's a whole prompt, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's just lines of just like how to prompt and do everything, right? Boom, 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 boom. Right.
God.
And the really crazy thing to me about that is the fact that obviously, there's a market for that, right? Like, for example, like, especially with products, right? Like drop shipping. Drop shipping right now is a gold mine, especially with the AI implementation, right? Because you don't even need to take actual pictures or videos of like the actual product or people with the product, right? You can just do a prompt like that, have like, a pretty looking model or something, and boom, there's your product, right? You're getting lots of views and clicks, right?
Right.
Like, I don't mean to expose my business partner, but he showed me something interesting. What was it, last week, I think, when we had a meeting where he was setting me up with a drop shipping store. And he put Sabrina Carpenter in the picture with our product.
Oh, right on. Yeah.
So, man, it's crazy, like how everything's evolving, and just you got to take advantage of it,
You do, and it's funny because this morning I was looking at an image. It looks like, I don't know if you know Dexter, the TV show Dexter.
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah.
They have Dexter Resurrection filming And in the background, right, it's like they're not filming at that moment, but it's like a camera view
Yeah,
of them,
behind the scenes. Yeah.
behind the scenes. And it shows him talking to Heisenberg and Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad. It's like just I don't even know what's real anymore. That's one of the
No.
problems I have with AI, right?
Yeah.
But the Nano Banana, the Sora, all of
Mhm.
those are just amazing if you have the right prompt.
Definitely.
And that's what I love about AI is it's really just it's endless, but you got to have the brain to use. Like you say, drop shipping. I know what drop
Yeah.
shipping is,
Mhm.
but when you think about what products am I going to sell, did you ask AI what products should I use?
Yeah, so there's there's a website slash software that they use that gets all the product knowledge, right? So the way dropshipping works is like you have to do product knowledge, right? You have to find out what products are selling, what products are not, and it's all obviously AI tracked, AI doing all that stuff, right? And then from there you build out a store, which again is AI, right? You build out a store through AI again, and then from there you create media for the brand and or for the product and everything using AI, right? And then from there, the advertising part of it, there's another website, right, where you could like make it seem where like an actual girl or actual guy is out with their phone showing you the product or whatever. And
Right.
you write them a script or whatever, and they do it for you. And then you push that on TikTok platforms, whatever. And then there you go, right? You put a link to the website or the product, and boom, there you go. It's all AI. You don't need to step out of the house ever.
You're right. And let me ask you, if I were to ask you, how many hours do you do a week of work
Mhm.
versus when you actually aren't doing anything work related? What do you think that ratio is?
Man, well, working, I honestly only work maybe like 2 to 4 hours a day.
Right.
And then it's all because of AI, right? Because like nowadays you could just go on Grok, come up with an AI agent or something, do the work for you. And then the rest of the time I'll just go to the gym or I'll just clean up the house or do something.
Yeah. And that's what I've been trying to get across to everybody here.
Mhm.
Part of this podcast is college life and life
Yeah.
skills. I talk about relationships and how to manage your time and things of that nature. But I've also added in the digital inferno, which is our AI section,
Mhm.
because it is such a part of the future that college students need to know AI. And it's so
Definitely.
funny, I have my son here who is a young college student that hates AI,
Mhm.
and he doesn't want to learn it, but
Yeah.
he's going to have to at some point.
Yeah.
But he can actually get a degree in that.
Oh, definitely.
Do you have
Yeah.
any degrees or anything like that it prepared you for this, or this is all just on your own?
No, I'll be honest with you. I only went to school. So I went to school. I graduated high school in 2016. So I'm kind of an older guy, but or I feel old. But what's it called? So I graduated 2016. Went to school for like about 2 years. Dropped out, and then like I said, I was doing music production for a bit, just trying to get more involved in the scene with music production and everything. And then from there, I went back to school in 2022 because I was more into film, right? And this is where AI opened up my brain, right? Was because when I was in film, when I was going to school for film for a few years, especially working in the industry, working with other people that do commercials, do all that good stuff, right? The budgets dropped significantly, right? Because they have AI to use now, right? They have AI to use, and also the greatest gift ever, the phone, right?
Yes.
So a lot of these businesses, a lot of these brands are just like, why am I going to pay somebody $4, $5, $10,000 for a video when one, I can maybe use it on Sora or AI, right? Or just shoot on my phone, right?
Right.
So once I started seeing that and knowing where the world's going to change and everything, I had to step on AI. I had to like really take it a little bit more seriously. And then my business partner, who luckily helped me out and everything earlier this year, he pretty much put me on AI. He put me through a few courses. So I took a few courses, right, on like how to market AI, how to sell AI, and yeah, just been doing that since.
Well, see, my background is a counselor and educator as a
Mhm.
teacher. I teach psychology, community, and I do things of that nature. And over the summer, I decided to do this podcast. So I've been learning about AI ever since June. I don't know if you were able to see any of the videos that I created as far as the animations and stuff.
I think I've seen a few. Yeah, they're animations that you guys use for transitions here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I actually made like a 4.5 minute transition, animated video. And I work with Military Broadcast Radio. That's who I'm broadcasting on right now.
Nice.
And I'm their animation department. So he has like his agenda of what he's trying to do.
Mhm.
And I'll make the video for Christmas. So I made Christmas at the VA. So that's what he's going to be promoting later. and it's generic stuff. It's not fancy stuff, but the fact that you say film.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'm involved with is stream915.com. You might want to check that out.
Okay.
As not only as a viewer, but as a content creator, because it's an El Paso content station made by El Pasoans for El Paso.
Nice.
And we have filmmakers that are debuting their films on our channels. So
wow.
We do like a screen and share. We do it 2-3 times a year is what the plan is right now. Next one's going to be around spring, maybe April, where we're going to have new film directors debut their films at our show. But it's only El Paso people. So it's like our own indie festival.
Nice.
But it's only the El Paso people. And it's not big budget films. It's like community college students making their films. And I'm going to be one of the speakers at the next screen and share, because not only am I doing these podcasts that talk about college, but the counseling, the life skills, and the animation. It's all going to be part of what I'm going to talk about. And it's going to be what AI has done for me, basically.
Nice.
And I'm learning how to do it, because there's courses that you could take that will teach you on how to do it, but you got the motivation, which is amazing. A lot of people don't even have that. You have the skills, which you're teaching yourself, because they can't be taught.
Definitely.
Right? And
no, go ahead. My bad. I didn't
go
mean
ahead.
No, I was just say definitely. I think the best thing to really do a lot of times is just to, you could watch a lot of videos, you could watch a lot of courses, but if you're not there doing the work or taking the action to actually try and learn and fail, then I think that's the biggest thing you're missing out on, because I think you're gonna fail and you just got to learn to move past it and learn from it. You know what I mean? That's the biggest thing I learned, because I was doing this nonstop through summer until I finally landed like my first client, pretty much, right? I was selling him an AI agent, AI employee, right? It took me months. And obviously those skills I sharpened, right? Whether it was how to speak to business owners, right? Like I feel super confident talking to business owners now, right? Compared to at first, I was super hesitant, didn't really know what I was doing, didn't know what I was getting myself into. But, I felt like no matter how many videos or courses I watched, I wouldn't have succeeded. I wouldn't have, done what I did. So I think taking action is more important.
Inside of you. You have to have that internal motivation to go out there and do things, and I'm glad you have that. Like you said, you were in the LA scene for a while working with, producing stuff over there.
I was in the industry, I'll tell you that. Like I worked with the Grammy producers, and I also worked with a lot of famous influencers online. Some of them have like a few 100,000 to one of them that I met back in summer from Latin America, super famous. He has like 30 million. And I spent a whole month with him learning just content creation, learning just like what triggers people, what keeps people entertained and everything. So, obviously that information or that knowledge I didn't just let go to waste,
Right. And that's the thing. You see those people, how hard do they work to get to where they're at?
I mean, it's just consistency. I think that's the hardest thing. Like if a lot of people confuse hard work with consistency, right? I mean, you could work hours and hours out of the day, right? But if you're not consistent, then I feel like that's gonna be the biggest thing. I think being disciplined and consistent is the most important thing, right? People do say hard work. Yeah, you can work very, very hard, but sometimes, you're working very hard, but not, consistent, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
It does. It's funny we were talking about consistency. One of my brags right now is Tuesday a week ago. So it's been 10, 12 days, whatever it is. I had 15 followers on my TikTok. Today I have 530.
Nice.
And I've implemented a new system of promoting myself. The formats changed a little bit. The posting has changed. The consistency is the main part that I've done. And it's paying off. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
I'm not trying to go viral. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I would love to get out there and do stuff. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
But it's one of those things that I'm sharing my knowledge with everybody. And hopefully, I can get to the point where I have guests come on that are amazing like yourself. Where
Appreciate it.
People that I'm not just blowing smoke up their butt. I'm actually like telling them these are things that we all need to learn how to do. Because if you don't do it, you're gonna get left behind. And we made a comment earlier about you have to get ahead of it before it takes over.
Definitely. The best way I look at it is like this. Like I had this conversation with my mom earlier, because like she was like, "Are you sure you want to go all in on this?" Blah blah blah. And I told her, I'm like, "Look, in the 2000s, if I told you, hey, I want to start a website, right? When the .com era big, right? You would have probably laughed at me, right? And in the 2010s, if I told her, oh, I want to get really into Bitcoin, really into crypto, she would have been like, what the heck are you talking about, right? And then right now, we're in the AI wave. We're in the AI wave right now, and it's like either, hey, you got the opportunity to land on it right now. If you're not landing on it, if you're not riding the wave with it, you're gonna miss out again. And you're gonna have to sit 10 years again or something for another gold rush.
And that's perfect what you just said. That literally is perfect. I was creating websites back in 2000. That's what I was doing for my clubs and stuff. I was creating websites.
Nice.
And I learned how to do HTML. Well, let me rephrase that. I didn't learn how to do it but I could use it. And crypto was something that I said I'm not going to do, because that is it's just people making up these meme coins that they what the hell, the Haktua girl?
Yeah.
She creates a meme coin, goes out there, creates this coin, gets all the money, then dips it, just drops
Yep.
it, it's done. And it's like, no. And one of my friends who does crypto, he's like, oh, you got to get in on this one. So I did. I put, I got up to like $250 in.
Nice.
Right? And he says, you got to keep it. You got to keep it. And I'm like, all right, I did. And he's keep it for a year, whatever. So now it's only worth like 5 cents. And he's like, oh yeah, man, I sold that like 3 months ago. I'm like,
yep.
dude, like, what the hell, So on December 31st, I'm dumping it all and taking my loss. Only $250, but it is what it is. But I've always, I never liked the crypto. And then we had the Forex exchange. Remember that one? For the guy.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
That's foreign exchange, where they do like foreign currency and stuff. But there's a crypto that some guy had. Even had like one of the sharks on it as one of his speakers.
Okay.
He just
dumped it
and stole everyone's money.
Yeah. No, you got to be careful. I mean, personally, me, I don't trust any celebrity coins at all. That's one tip of advice I learned. Everybody in the space says it, because I'm on X, I'm on Twitter nonstop, right? That's like literally where if you want to make money, you want to get news, I'm on there all the time, right? But on there, everybody says celebrity coins, don't trust them. If you're gonna get into a meme coin, make sure it's a meme coin that really has that has longevity, right? Like the meme coin I've ever joined, and I wish I put more money in, it was Pepe. The green frog. Yeah. I put $20 into it back in 2022 as a joke, right? Just because I didn't know much of it. I didn't really care. I was like, oh, Pepe, yeah, I love that meme, right? I checked it last year, literally last December, right? It was up $200.
Yeah.
Imagine if I put $2,000 into it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So, but Bitcoin, Ethereum, those coins, I don't think they're ever going to go away. Those are the two coins you always want to keep as an asset. Like keep those as like a house. Invest in those into like a house.
Well, and you're right. It's only going up.
Right now it's going down. Right now the whole markets are tanking like crazy. Crypto and
economy. That's our economy. It's going to happen, and that's the time you need to get in on the market.
Exactly.
My cousin, he does investing, and I asked him for some advice, and his advice was invest in the products you're using today.
Yeah.
Like if you drink Coke, invest in Coke. If you drink Pepsi, invest in Pepsi. That's what you're using. That's what you're buying. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I haven't done that at all. I haven't been able to really get started. Like I bought my first house when I was 23, second house when I was 28, then in third I got divorced, lost both houses. You know what I mean? It's like I've done stuff, and I got married, had a wife, bought a house, and then she got cancer. She passed away 10 years ago.
Sorry to hear about that.
Thank you. But they went all my savings. And I'm at a point now where I'm starting again, and I'm building up who I am. And I'm bringing my son along with me. And this next year, 2026, is going to be an amazing year for us.
Nice.
I wish I'd done like a little more crypto or done a little more investing. It's always that coulda, shoulda, woulda, to do.
I would drop in a tip right now too. Or I would drop in, if anything, like there's a new coin right now that's gaining a lot of hype, and I believe it might be a future, because right now the biggest take with a lot of crypto is the fact that's not as private, right? A lot of people want privacy. That's the whole point of crypto, right? The whole point of crypto was invented for it to be you and your money, right? No middleman, right? Like a bank, for example, right? Because a bank, anytime they could, if they want, they could take away your money, right?
Right.
So cryptos, here to break that. This is the whole, this is the Web3 game, right? The Web3, which is the era we're pretty much trying to go into, is pretty much going to be, you know, for it to be just you and your product, you and your item, you and somebody else, no middleman or whatever, right? Because for the longest time there was a middleman, right? In the Web2, right? Like social media, all that stuff. Like everybody took your data, everybody collected your data.
Right.
So now people want to be more private, right? So right now there's a coin that's been getting hyped, especially by the Winklevoss brothers. You know who they are, right? The Winklevosses, yeah. It's called Zcash, right? A lot of people, they're kind of sleeping on it right now. But I remember when I checked on it, what was it, back in October, beginning of October, it was at $300, right? And then recently it jumped up to $600. So that's an early coin to really get a head start in, if anything. You know, I think Zcash is really going to be here, just due to the fact that it's private. It's super private. No one can really see your transactions or anything on it.
Well, see, and we say that now, but once regulations kick in and everything, who knows if that's going to stay that way? Because criminals are using a lot of the
Oh, definitely.
So it's like, you know, it's an easy way to buy weed. No one knows who you're buying it from, right?
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm in a lot of Telegram groups right now where I have to send money to some guy, like maybe like in Dubai or something, right? Just due to the fact, because like long story short, like on Telegram, you could buy a lot of Instagram accounts, a lot of TikTok accounts, right? Obviously for marketing, that's super useful, right? And some of these crypto wallets, like for example, Coinbase, they flagged my account because I was sending money to some guy in like Dubai or whatever. And I'm like, what the heck? That's not the point of crypto. So then from there, I have to get on a decentralized network, which is Phantom Wallet. So Phantom Wallet isn't as regulated. Phantom Wallet, it's super decentralized. It's just you and your money, and that's it. You know, so for investing, I like Coinbase. For sending money, use Phantom Wallet.
Well, I use Phantom. That's what I have.
Phantom, yeah. Phantom's great for, you know, being super low key, super everything. You know, so I like Phantom Wallet. And then because one of my coworkers who I used to work with back in LA, he told me about Phantom Wallet. That the cool thing about it is that obviously, you know how on Coinbase, if you want to take out your money or whatever, you know, you could be regulated or whatever, right?
Right.
You could be taxed heavily. But on Phantom Wallet, if you know somebody within your area or whatever, you can just send them a bit of Solana, a Bitcoin, whatever you got, and then he'll just give you the money in cash. Like it's crazy to me, you know?
Yeah, and you know, there's so many things you can do with that. But hey, Javier, don't go anywhere. I gotta wrap up the show real quick, but I want to come back to you so I can talk to you real quick personally.
Definitely. Sounds good.
Here. You know, and you guys, Javier, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate this. And I don't know if you found anything interesting that he was talking about in particular.
I did.
You know, maybe he opened up his eyes to AI and the possibilities. So we'll see.
To take advantage of it, man. I think take advantage of it, because next thing you know, you're going to be missing out on it. You know, I think hop on it when you can.
Well, you know, real quick, one thing that we do here, again, with my clips, we have the final burn here. That is the final comment of the day. So give us a second. We're going to throw the video on.
Good.
Freedom isn't the absence of rules, it's the ability to write your own. The final take from today's discussion is, freedom isn't the absence of rules, it's the ability to write your own. Be the CEO of your life, not just a bystander, and enjoy the independence you've earned. The final flame has been struck. Back to Murphman and Connor to wrap the show.
You know, you guys, that's so true. Everything we've been talking about, right? The ability to write your own, you got to take out there and get out there. But before we wrap up, I want to remind you all, Hot Takes with the Murphman streams live every Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern with Military Broadcast Radio, and we give veterans a voice. You can also catch all my premium content and all the behind the scenes at stream915.com, where you can find the Hot Takes podcast as well there, where we have the El Paso content, and we've talked about that several times. You know, check it out. It's free to create an account. Visit purehottakes.com to connect on social media and unlock your discount link to stream915.com. That's the end of today's show, Connor. Thank you all for joining us, and have a wonderful week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter,